What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is February the 21st. I want to give you an overview of the roller coaster that's going to happen today, what the data points are saying, and go over some of the hot movers. Before I get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So starting off with good old data. So for today, it's just around 2 o'clock, so the FOMC meeting minutes. So that's going to definitely take priority. Then right after that, NVIDIA earnings. And I'm actually kind of nervous. I don't own any NVIDIA, but I do have a weird feeling that the broader market just genuinely wants to pull it back significantly. And of course, through that, I think the broader market is going to suffer as well. This is why you do see the futures very much red. Even the fear and greed index recently has gone from about 76 to 71 and now to 66. So people are starting to come to a realization that maybe AI essentially is overvalued. But then again, what do I know? I might be eating my words, and we'll just have to wait and see based on NVIDIA's earnings. So yeah, it's going to be a crazy roller coaster, but despite that though, there is going to be some pretty good value plays out there. So starting off with some hot movers with SOFI, I do cover that quite frequently under this channel. So it is down slightly, 1.41%. No news, no recent SEC filings, as you can kind of see right here. So the last news that did come out was a Form 4, and that was on February the 16th. But aside from that though, shorts are returning about 433 shares. So not all that much, so they're just waiting. Clearly, they didn't really do much yesterday. They did return, which was very abnormal, similar to Lucid near the tail end of the day. I do cover that under my other channel, Financial Journey. But aside from that, 16.5% of the free float is being shorted. 150.51 million shares overall are being shorted, and cost to borrow average is currently 1.02%. So definitely, SOFI is not a squeeze play in my opinion. Oddly enough, you do see a lot of people starting to talk on how SOFI is a squeeze, which I kind of found it kind of hilarious. The fact that SOFI does and outperforms the broader market pretty well, in fact, yesterday, and people automatically start talking on short squeezes. But aside from all of that though, if you're looking at trading SOFI with it at $8.40, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So $8.24, you'll really want to watch for that point to hold today, and then vice versa for it to break above $8.55. So it did struggle somewhat yesterday. So $8.52 was the high, and it kind of landed somewhere around that. So it did struggle to really get above this R1. But then again, the broader market was in panic mode, and most likely that's going to be the case as well today. So you really want to watch this pivot point to hold. Moving on though, ticker is SOGP, so Sound Group. So this one is up 87.83%. And the only news that has really come out to justify this uptrend was the fact that they are making some new AI powered applications. So AI seems to be driving the broader market, which I don't think anything wrong with that. It's increasing productivity and whatever else. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. But aside from that though, in case you are curious what Sound Group does, you can always just pause it, read through the company profile. It does, or I guess it is, under the movies and entertainment sector, and it's based out of Singapore. So that might be suitable for some, might not be for others. You guys do your own due diligence. On a side note, if you are looking for a lot of good compiled information, take a look at Seeking Alpha Premium. I do have a 7-day free trial for you because it has everything that you ever need to know whether a company has done a previous reverse stock split, such as this company doing a 1-for-10 on September the 20th. You can always look at historical prices, dividends, earnings, everything that you need all in one location. Link in the description below and also the comments, so take advantage of that. But Sound Group isn't heavily shorted, so the free float or percentage of the free float is 0.82, so very low. In fact, that's probably one of the lowest companies I've ever covered on this channel. But 27,000 shares overall are being shorted, and cost to borrow average is 87.03. Utilization is 42.58. If you are looking at trading this, I'm looking right here, like normally this company doesn't go up this much this fast, so you kind of have to look at the 1 week right here, so the 1 week fib levels, and it's very wide of a gap. So you do have to watch that $6.12 for it to really break above that. And at the time of me doing this video, I think it was at 604 or 607, somewhere around there. So it was attempting to break out. It looks like it's consolidating a little bit, but it's going to be a very volatile day, of course. Moving on though, HOLO. So So MicroCloud, this company has been, it's very relentless, and I appreciate that and I respect that. It's crazy. So it is up 20.66%, and there hasn't been any news, as you can kind of see. No SEC filings, no outside news, no other investments other than that initial just hype that came out on February the 7th. So crazy stuff. In case you don't know what HOLO does, you can always pause it, read through it. I did do a dedicated video all about HOLO, and I did say realistically it does need to be between the $6 to $10 range. And coincidentally, I believe the following day it went from about, I think, $60 down to where I realistically said, because it doesn't have any dollar values attached to anything. But moving on though, like I said in my dedicated video for HOLO, it is based out of China, and it is starting to get somewhat shorted over the last little bit. So right now, shorts are returning about 470 shares. 81.06% of the free float is being shorted. It is on the threshold list as well, and 770.11 thousand shares overall are being shorted. And when I did my dedicated video, I said that most likely these numbers are wrong only because they recently did a reverse stock split, and sometimes Ortex kind of takes a little bit of time to adjust their numbers, and especially one big factor that changes the short interest pretty significantly is the share count. So I think it's still trying to work through its thing. So realistically, probably, I don't know, I would say 8% is that short interest, because just take that 81.06. But then again, like I said, what do I know, right? But if you are looking at trading this company, obviously the fib levels are very wide and it's not really anticipating for it to go this high. So you kind of have to look back at where the previous support and resistance points were. So you do know roughly around $29 and as far as the low 15. And that's kind of generally what it did bounce off of yesterday. So as far as this uptrend, you'd really want to watch for around 22.50 for that to break above. And then if that is the case, then you could have another epic rally. If not, it might just bounce off of that and trend lower to around the $14 range. So it's just going to be trading within that range most likely, unless there's some other external circumstances that does come out justifying for it to go up. Moving on though, good old NVIDIA. I have to talk on them because it's their earnings. Like, they're going to dictate what happens with the broader market in the foreseeable future. This is what they do, in case you somehow don't know, but they're not heavily shorted. Right now, shorts are increasing around 6,000 shares, which is a drop in the bucket considering 27.7 million shares overall are being shorted. But 1.17% of the free float is being shorted, and as I brought up in my video yesterday, cost to borrow average is negative. So there is brokers physically paying people on average, just among all the brokers, like they're paying people to short NVIDIA, but still it doesn't really seem to be doing all that much, unless maybe they miss on their earnings and then this falls back down to maybe 500 or something. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. If you are looking at trading this though, right now it is trading between this S3 and this S2. So 672 is a point to watch for it to hold, and then vice versa if it does potentially rebound today, $6.91. But most likely it's just going to be range bound within these points up until their earnings. But then again, we'll just have to, like I said, wait and see. And so this one, ticker's PANW. So this one did miss on their earnings yesterday. It is down 24.74%. This is what they are all about right here. So pause it, read through it, and whatever else. So this company similarly isn't really heavily shorted. Shorts are increasing though, 18,000 shares. 4.2% of the free float is being shorted, and 13.07 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 0.51%, and if you're looking at trading this with that 275, it is just between this S3 and this S2. Very wide gap, so anticipate a lot of volatility, but I don't really anticipate this S3 to be hit. So 254, so that's probably not going to happen, or see it today at least. But 281, it could have a value rally potentially to really retest that, but whether it does break above it or not, I'm not really sure. So just take a mental image of a lot of these support and resistance points. But aside from that, what are you watching today? Today, like I said, I think there could be some pretty good value if there is some negative data coming out. So just be very cautious and everything else. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for an account with MULN for $100 ad and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.